What's up, Bulldogs? All right, I want to make one more video in relation to the John and Sabrina, friends of mine that just had an amazing wedding, and they were in Sayulita, Mexico, invited us down there, and just had a phenomenal time of meeting just amazing people, making some great friendship and connections. This video, I want to talk about a concept which I briefly mentioned called synchronicity. And I wanted to talk about how synchronicities are guideposts to your life, and they tell you you're going in the right direction. So you might not know what a synchronicity is. Let me kind of explain this to you. The concept is essentially anytime that there's like these coincidences that are unmistakably tied directly to my life, where only I would understand, or close people to me would understand the significance of this thing and how crazy that these two events occurred, that they're somehow connected. They're not connected together from a causal and effect relationship, but somehow there's these things that are tied together, and you know that they go together. You know that these things have happened. And I'll give you an example here. I'll give you a couple examples. In fact, I'll just tell you about the one from this wedding. I mentioned it before. I got a tattoo. It's pronoia, right? And you can watch the other videos to understand a little bit more about the background behind that. But one of the synchronicities that occurred that led to this tattoo was that I had gone to Nicole's parents for Christmas, and then I had a conversation with my daughter, and we were talking about how there are times in my life where I believe that the road rises up to meet me, and it did every day. It just happened. And I believe that everything was happening for me, and everything was good, and there's no bad, and just everything worked out for me, and it did. And there were other times in my life, more recently in the last couple of years, where I believe the opposite, where I went to a darker place, where I started to believe that everything was working against me. Like the shit just kept on piling on, and I felt like I was drowning, and I was. And it was so true that at those times in life when I believed that everything was good, it was, and when I believed everything was bad, it was. You can equate this to the victim mindset, sure. But anyway, there's that concept. And then what happened was when we went to the wedding, the only thing that was on the first night there in English on the TV was The Secret, right? The Secret is basically about the law of attraction, which is essentially the same thing. Is this when you think good thoughts, when you think positive things happen to you. You attract what you dwell on, what you think about. And so watch that, right? And I was like, wow, that's a synchronicity. I was like, that's pretty crazy, right? And that was the only thing in English. And then at the wedding, John was like, oh, we're going to get tattoos. And the tattoo that I'm going to have a tattoo artist come down here. I'm going to put pronoia, right? Pronoia. Okay. And if you don't know what pronoia is the opposite of paranoia. Paranoia means that you feel like the world and universe is conspiring against you. Pronoia is the opposite. It means that you have perhaps an unrealistic belief that the world and universe and everything is conspiring for you. What a great thing. What a great message. But wow, what is synchronicity? That's a synchronicity. It's crazy. I never heard of the word pronoia before. And then all of a sudden, these events occur that line up as I'm changing my own mindset, right? And going back into pronoia state. And that's where the Bulldog mindset's coming back. And I'm making these videos again, and there you go. And that's why I got the tattoo, because I was like, wow, that's crazy. Like that is a synchronicity. And I'll tell you a little bit about synchronicities in a minute, but I want to tell you another synchronicity. Okay. Then that same week, it's so crazy. I came back from the wedding. I'm messaging one of my coaching clients, Eric, and I'm telling him about the wedding. And I told him where it was. And he's like, oh, isn't that where Robert Glover wrote his books there in Sayulita, Mexico? It's a small town in Mexico, out of Puerto Vallarta, right next to it. And I was like, I guess that's true. Yeah, because I had Robert Glover on the YouTube channel, and I remember he was in Mexico there. And so I was looking into it, and Robert Glover wrote the foreword for The Masculine Relationship. Okay, and that's the book. Masculine Relationship is a book that I recommend to every guy. It's one of the best books on relationships for men, on being the man in the relationship. The author of that, G.S. Youngblood, right? So I looked it up. I was like, okay, Sayulita, masculine relationship, or, G.S. Youngblood, because I want to see, did he live there or whatever? And it's so crazy because, first of all, the foreword for The Masculine Relationship was written by Robert Glover, Dr. Robert Glover, and he signs it in Mexico, Puerto Vallarta. That's where you fly into to go to Sayulita. So maybe he was actually in Sayulita. I don't know. But I look up G.S. Youngblood, right? Masculine Relationship on YouTube and Sayulita, and wow. You know what? Guess what? G.S. Youngblood had a retreat in 2024, last year, based on the book in Sayulita. Now, this synchronicity gets a lot more crazy, because here's the thing about this. A few weeks before the wedding, John was, working through some relationship stuff, and he called me up, and I told him, I said, you got to read this book, Masculine Relationship. Now, I didn't know anything about the book being written in Sayulita. I didn't think about that. Like, that's just a book that I recommend. It's a really, really good book. And he started going through this book, right? And getting some wisdom from it. And we would talk about it on the wedding day, or the day before the wedding. Yeah, the wedding day. And it's so crazy that he picked for his wedding the location, Sayulita, which is the place where G.S. Youngblood has the retreat in the place that the author that did the foreword, Robert Glover, lives basically and written his books, and that this whole ceremony was so much the masculine and feminine, and the you know what I'm saying? Like, these are the synchronicities. These are things that are like, wow, are you kidding me? How is this even possible? Right? How does this even make sense? He could have had his wedding anywhere, but I have this personal connection to these events, and I don't want to get too woo-woo on you, but I am woo-woo, okay? To me, it is divine in the sense that someone could say this is just a coincidence, but it happens too much. And this is too much of a coincidence. It's astronomical. There is a divine element to this. This is preordained. This is forethought. This is predestined to unfold this way. It's a message. It's a message that's saying, hey, you think, like, you see these things? There's a God. You see these things that happened? There's a purpose to this universe. There's something. Again, whether you believe in it, whatever religion you are, it doesn't matter. But whether you believe as God as a single entity or as the universe or consciousness or total love, whatever it is, there is a purpose. There's a reason. There's a mission. There's there is something. It's not just random. We're not just here randomly. There's meaning in life. And when you see this, then you understand that synchronicities are the guideposts of life. There have been many times in my life where I have had many synchronicities occur in close proximity to each other, and that is when I am on the right path in life, and that's what I use as a guidepost in life. The more that I get synchronicities, the more that these synchronicities appear, the more I know the direction I'm going. It's right. That just gave me goosebumps, right, to say that. But it's true. You've seen it. You've seen it as I'm resurrecting this channel. And yeah, it's not getting a lot of views. It doesn't matter because it's back. The Bulldog mindset is back. I'm back. I'm back on the path. I know this path. I've been on this path before. I'm back on the path. And yeah, I mean, I had to go somewhere else. But I'm here. And I know this is the right path. And I'm getting confirmations of it. It doesn't matter. It doesn't even matter what's happening. It doesn't matter what's happening financially. It doesn't matter any of those things. It matters what I'm doing. That I'm on the mission. I'm on the purpose. I'm on the path. And I know a lot of you guys don't believe in the woo-woo stuff, and that's fine. But check this out. Look for the synchronicities in your life. They are the guideposts that tell you you're going the right direction. There have been times where I haven't had very many synchronicities at all, and that's when I'm not going the right direction. The universe helps you. It tells you. It does guide you. Pronoia. It's real. You just have to tap into it. And when you do, you're going to get help, right? Stephen Pressfield's excellent book, The War of Art, talks about this. He talks about, in the woo section of his book, about how when you're on a purpose, when you're on your mission, when you're going for that thing, when you're fighting that resistance, the whole world, the whole universe conspires to help you. You just got to do it. You just got to step out there. If you want some help stepping out there, you want to join a group of men that are on the same mission, click link down below. Join us in the Bulldog Mindset membership. It's also the way to support my work in this channel. If you believe what I'm saying, if you believe this message is valuable, join us. It'll be worth it. I promise you, because this is where it's at, man. And we're going to change the world. Want to get the tattoo? Get the tattoo. Join us. Send me an email. Send me a picture. I'd love to share it. I want to see how many people are going to do this. See you tomorrow.